welcome to the Yeah Come On show with Southside Steve.
This is show number 2. No, I'm not always going to count them, but I'm going to count them as long as they're single digits. Fair enough?
Yeah, and we kicked off on last Friday, so we had the weekend to kind of see what kind of response. You get some feedback?
I did. I got a lot of feedback because what we are is a radio show. That's what I do. If I'm on a podcast, that is just secondary away from the radio career. I love radio. Now, terrestrial radio is going through some issues. Life is issues. We have currently lost our terrestrial radio job.
Right, so we're going to the World Wide Web.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is World Wide Web. This isn't a gimmick. This is 4 hours of radio crashed into 30 minutes. I've talked to all of our sponsors and our guest. Peter Conlon, chairman of Live Nation Georgia, is in right after the new year. His segment in the green room will continue. We'll do that on Fridays if you agree. I mean,
that was a perfect time, and that was probably our best thing on Fox FM, right?
Yeah, I would probably say so, just because it was so cool. Because we're, on Fox FM, it's all about Georgia. We were on 9 radio signals in cities. So for us, it's people that knew about the old locations, whether it was the Omni, whether it was the Cotton Club, people that wanted to know about how rock music came into Georgia and who brought it in, Alex Cooley, and then Peter Conlon with him. And it's great stories. And the cool thing is I did with Alex Cooley the gig. It was
Electric Ballroom.
Yeah. It was only 9 months. 9 months on 96 Rock. Alan Ayo hosted it, and I ended up hosting it a lot or just being in the room. So it was fun just because I'd work midnight to 8 because I was a part-timer. Yay!
The overnights. And that's when you had to do it in real time. There was no voice tracking. There was no recording ahead. It was pressing the buttons in real time in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started on Album 88. Just like you.
And there were no bathrooms in 96 Rock. People didn't realize that. We were in a suite, so we had one whole side of the 13th floor, almost the entire floor. There were just a couple offices on the other side, but the bathroom was in the middle. So you had your elevator bank. You came out of that, and if you wanted to go to the bathroom, you took a hard left. Men, women, water fountain.
So the whole 96 Rock office there did not have its own bathroom?
No.
You had to share it with the rest of the floor?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And this is years before Cheap Channel.
Yeah, man. Oh, God, don't even get me started with Cheap Channel. We're just going to leave it a nickname. You people don't need to know. You can't handle it. So you would have to put on a long song, depending on whether it was a onesie or twosie. If it was a twosie and your stomach was, I liked it better if my stomach was upset because I said, you know what, this will go fast. It's the, oh God. So I always, to play it safe, I put it on an album.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just say, you know what, worst case.
It plays 2 songs.
That's the worst.
Worst case, you would play a deep cut on the album.
Yeah.
God forbid anyone do that these days.
No. So nobody does the deep cut. And then you go, and then you had to make sure you wedge something through the door because the door always locked. There was no way to unlock it. So when you opened it from the inside, you had to put something in between it because if it closes, you're locked out. That you don't want to be locked out of the radio station. That is not a good thing. They supposedly there was a 24-hour guy, but that's just fun stuff. But we now are doing this. We're doing a 4-hour radio show in 30 minutes. Those of you that are leaving responses, good or bad, I'm tagging you. And all you have to do is go to the Yeah Come On show. And it's on YouTube, but wherever you get your podcast. But if you get a chance to listen, you get an entire radio show in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do all of our same segments, a little bit of fun politics. We call it Politictainment. Steve MZ, our entertainment stories. Track 13, speaking of deep cuts, we'll end the show with a fun Track 13. We can't play the music, but we'd like to talk about it. And, of course, the Doc of Rock likes to show off.
Yeah, you do. And we're still going to do real reels. These are reels that are real because most of them aren't. And we'll point out fake things that are out there on AI. We might even play some AI music. Do we get in trouble playing AI music? Is that owned?
I don't think so, unless it's been, through the right copyright or released a certain way. Like if it's pre-released by a record label or a person who's, gone through the proper channels, it probably is.
Yeah.
But if you just make it up ourselves, then no, you should be able to play whatever we want.
All right, well, I'm going to make up some music. This is a chance for you and I to be music writers.
Okay.
So we're going to do it. I'm going to challenge you over Christmas break to write a rock song and a country song. You think you can do one of each? And then I'm going to do the same, and then we're going to see who wins.
Oh, you want to have an AI music contest?
I want to have an AI off.
AI off.
An A off.
Okay.
An AI off. That's how you say it. Before that gets started, there is a subject. It's out there. A guy took the microphone, and you know what? I was very impressed. And he's actually an important individual. And what he did is he comes up to the microphone, kind of looks around. He's not a flashy guy. He's a normal looking guy. Maybe you would even say a little nerdy, if that's still even a term. Just very academic is what I would like to say about this guy. And the cool thing is that when he comes up to the podium, he pauses, and he's really not even trying to make an impression. He's not even trying to work the room. But the words that came out of his mouth were all but magical. And I said, who is this guy? And I look up, and I'm like, this guy's in charge of health. Like, this is a guy that has been put in a position, a very influential position. And this is what he had to say.
Men are men. Men can never become women. Women are women. Women can never become men.
Well, you know who he works for? RFK Jr. He's a spokesman for the Health and Human Resources, and they're putting out a thing where they want to ban sex changes for minors in hospitals.
I love it.
They're coming out saying, "Hey, this is and what." I still haven't figured out where this all started. This whole thing about men can be women and women can be men. It started with the woke era, I know, but why? I don't get it.
It's crazy. And the reason the applause was just bare. First off, nobody knew what to do. They're like, what did he just say? Now, I would say that 99% of the planet, 99.5, agree with this guy. But because 0.1% or whatever the hell, you are 0.5% that actually believe that men can use tampons, give birth, and can switch their sexes. For those confused individuals, we have to all don't say anything bad. I mean, it is time for tough skin, man. Sticks and stones break your bones. Words don't hurt your crap. That we got to go back to that to be a tough nation, which is why I like kind of what's going on now. You got to tell that 1% or less, just shut up and do whatever it is you want to do, but don't make the rest of us participate because you're nuts.
Yeah, remember a few years ago, there were some people in public office that would not say that. They would not say men can only be men, women can only. They couldn't say it.
No, because they would not be reelected if they did. And that's the thing. Everybody is lying to win. Why can't we just tell the truth and tell these people no? And why, and Dr. Phil and whoever, don't put them on your damn talk shows to even have a voice. It's insanity. I want to meet a man that menstruates. I really do. I want to see how that happens.
All right, let's get some Steve MZ. You ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready for Steve MZ. I feel like, I'm just, that's just what I do. I just scream it. And I got to tell you, with Steve MZ right now, a lot's coming out. And I think the top story, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is Epstein. I know you're going to probably go there on Politictainment in a minute. All I want to say is, wow, there is a scene where a girl kissed Trump. I don't know if he was married then or not, but I'm just going to throw this out there. Home movies of Bill Clinton. This is Bill Clinton.
Oh, he was all over it.
Bill Clinton's hideaway.
Wearing some funky shirts too. Did you see the one with? I actually like that shirt. But I don't know what they were wearing, but they were wearing like some like out there shirts.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Moroccan or something.
I don't know.
I liked it.
He probably had a closet for visitors. Oh, you need a short sleeve? Go in there. But it's really should be the Clinton files, not even Epstein. I mean, this is Clinton's place. Right or wrong, I don't know on paper the relationship with he and his wife. I know that they had a child because she looks like them, but whatever. I really don't care. For the people that do, I'm like, unless they're minors, if you're breaking the law, you're in deep S. If somebody's there against their will and they're underage, sorry. no life preserver. You're horrible. We agree.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But,
now,
but anything over the of age and consensual, yeah, have at it at your island.
if she's 28 years old and she wants to do rich guys and rich guys want to do her, who in the hell am I to say no? Nobody. Who are you to say no? You can't. This is what they do. Go to a Kardashian party. Go to any party in Hollywood. I've seen them. And ride with a sports team. You know, go in for your favorite sports team and see how many girls are in the hotel bar
Oh
area.
yeah, that's the what do you call them? Cleat chasers.
Cleat chasers. Nothing but cleat chasers.
Those are sports groupies.
And guess what they call them in NASCAR? Lot lizards. It's a thing. It's a thing. And girls don't do beer tubs for a career. They do beer tubs to a guy rich enough, good looking enough, sweeps them off their beer tub. I mean, facts are facts.
Well, I miss beer tub girls. I miss going to a bar and just being able to grab a beer right there and not have to wait in line. Because whenever I go to a bar, it's crowded. Everyone's ordering some fancy mixed cocktail. It takes the bartender 10 minutes. All I need is a beer, man.
You're easy. I'm not.
I miss beer tub girls. I haven't seen one in years.
Well, right now they are the White Buffalo. Will that come back around? I don't know. Believe me. See, I like beer tub girls for another reason. I hate beer. I just like the girls.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Rob Reiner. Oh, man, so sad. Michelle Reiner, so sad. We're getting more info, which you always do. And it looks like his daughter may have been the first on the scene. And then she called different people who arrived. She was the catalyst of police, catalyst of friends, neighbors, anybody getting there. We don't know the exact order of who came in the door. We don't know who saw anything. She did. And from what they're saying, and more will leak out without, being tasteless, a vicious scene, like a vicious
Well, anytime
scene.
there's a knife involved, it's just bad.
Yeah, just bad. So they're looking at him, and keep in mind, I don't know that this will go to trial. Steve MZ will tell you it won't. And the reason, his brother and sister have hired his lawyer. They love their brother, but they're devastated. They know he had issues. He had schizophrenia. He was basically diagnosed with schizophrenia. And I'm like, okay, that's bad. But they're like, if you're on your normal meds, you're okay. But they say if you mix those meds with drugs, then the cocktail's pretty bad. And you may or may not know what you're doing. Temper, a lot of times when you see somebody buck wild crazy, even downtown, it's because they're probably on crack or they're on something and they're having a bad hour.
Oh yeah. I've been spending some time in town lately, and yeah, you'll just see guys on the street. Looks like they're doing performance dancing. They're just interpretive dance, just kind of singing and looking to the sky, and
they're in another world, dude.
Another world, yes.
They're absolutely in another world, and that's what is kind of going on here. I don't think anybody wants him to be found innocent. I think everybody thinks he needs to be put away, including his brother and sister, but they don't want it to get weird. His sister was 28 years old. She comes in. She's obviously the love of the parents. He's the one with the issues. The other brother doesn't. A lot of times people can't handle the fame, and they can't handle what comes at them because of the fame. And for the people that can do drugs and be fine, some people overdo and are drug addicts, and it doesn't mix well, and they can't get off of it because they love the feeling. Well, she fled from the home. She contacted her roommate. She's the one that called 911, and she called Billy Crystal. Those are the things we know as far as Rob Reiner, other than the site, like I said, being a wreck. And if Billy Crystal is seen going in the house, he's not a liar. He did tell the press, no, I didn't go in the house, because he doesn't want people asking him a bunch of questions about one of his best friends. And you got to kind of understand that. So all that being said, I will tell you that you got to do what you got to do to be a good person. I think people just got to back off the hate train and realize that bad things can happen. What you have to do is protect yourself from bad things, not put yourself in the situation of bad things. And sometimes you're innocent. like if you went to the Atlanta airport last night. Do you realize a man shot himself at the Atlanta airport?
No, I've not heard this.
Last night it happened, and I pulled it from Atlanta News First, and I was like, wow. So he injured himself. He goes in, and he goes upstairs, I guess up that escalator at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, International Airport, I think is what I'm supposed to say. And he takes it, and he doesn't put it to his head or in his mouth. He puts it and shoots himself in the torso.
Ooh, that's a
You don't always
No.
die, and that one can be painful. Obviously, people heard the gunshot. They freak out. He hasn't gone through security or anything. He just came into the airport, got away from people, and did this. His name's Douglas Smith, 59 years old. When they took him and transported him out, he was still conscious and breathing, and he's been transported to a hospital. I assume Grady, that's where you go for heart attacks and gunshots, but don't know. They're trying to find out why he did it. They have no idea. And they say he also looks like he may have shot himself in the left arm. So, and he did it going up an escalator.
wow.
That's just a little crazy. Too crazy. But there's your local Steve MZ mixed with the stories of the day.
CMC. All right.
Yeah. So now I got to tell you,
Polydictainment.
I don't
Or you
know.
got something else you want to do?
No, I don't have anything else. I like the polydictainment. I know people, there's only one or two people, if I can say this, and one woman I went after, but it's the comments that people make a lot of times when something bad happens. Like the AJC put out the article, you and I were in it, that we're no longer working for Fox FM. We were let go for money reasons.
Yeah.
We're
From Rodney Ho. Rodney Ho's article. Mhm.
Yeah, and Rodney questioned me, and he questioned my owner, and there's no ill will. I'm friends with the owner. He was my general manager for literally 8 years during the tough times, the ending of the regular guys. And let me tell you, a lot of yelling. He was in meetings with a lot of yelling, and it wasn't just a little South Side. It was some crazy stuff. So that being said, I think that's why people love the show, because it was so volatile
And real.
and real.
Yeah.
So our boss can handle it. So he brought us in. He'd already hired you before me, and then the pandemic came about, and you lost your gig. And then when the country got rolling again, and I was available, then he said, "Hey, let's put the two of you together."
Yeah. And his wife is my agent.
That's
So
true.
If you ever want to book Jeff Cole, you call Eva Murray.
Eva Murray,
Mhm.
does she? Do you have a phone number or an
They know-
email?
the people in the business know how to contact
Oh, they
her.
know your agent.
Yeah, they know how to contact her.
All right, so Jeff, what all do you do? Do you do nudes?
I haven't been asked yet, but
Is anything off the table for
nothing's
money?
off the table.
I'm going to say at this moment, nothing's off the table here, too. I don't want to kissy face with another person, but if you were paying me enough, my wife would probably be there and said, "It's okay. It's okay, Steve. I don't care. Just do it. Get the money." And I'd be the one go, "But baby, how can you handle watching me kiss somebody?" And she'll be like, "I can handle it.
But you need to pay the bills.
Pay the bills." Yeah, so that's the thing with actors, what's off the table, what's not. But Eva Murray, so we're all kind of thick as thieves, and we were just told, "Hey, you cost too much. We're going to do a music-centered morning show, and we're going to pay a guy 10% of what we were paying you."
Yeah.
Whoever that guy is, I don't have any alcohol, but I'm just going to say cheers to you, whoever fills in
Well,
for me.
I guess there'll be some sort of announcement in January. We don't know. They didn't tell us, so they're kind of keeping it
No.
secret.
It's almost like I wasn't supposed to know. I'm like, it's your toy. I know. You're telling me I can't play with it anymore. So, before we get into polydictainment, I just want to ask you, because these are normal thoughts. I look at my business cards. You made the ones that were the Southside Ride Morning
Yeah.
Show. That's fun. I look at them. They're cool. I like your card. I love the logo.
Yeah.
And that was what we called it. But then, the Yeah Come On show is really what works. It's what I've said my whole career. It's my trademark. It's my world. So it looks like we're going to be the Yeah Come On show no matter where we go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that should be the title, especially if we're going to be here in Atlanta, because that's the phrase that everybody knows. That's the phrase that pays.
The phrase that pays. I just want to apologize. Just know that Jeff's currently unemployed and he's not thinking straight. He's bringing up horrible. What do you call those little things? One-liners, rhymes, reasons. What are those little
Catchphrases like "Yeah, come on."
Oh,
It's a
so now
catchphrase.
you're criticizing
No.
catchphrases.
No, catchphrases are a thing, but they have to be catchy and they have to stick, and yours obviously has.
It's stuck, but not enough. Do you see the hat I'm wearing? Now, this is Come On Bourbon, which we have bottles that in case of depression or overexcitement, we can break and drink at any moment. And then we have to call people to pick us up.
Yeah.
Our cars just got to stay here because when we start, we ain't quitting.
Or we get that's why I can't go to lunch with you later, because if I start now, the rest of my day's
Oh.
gonna be ruined. So
Yeah, I got a buddy, Jeff Kinsler, that's taking me out. High school friend. It is funny when you get unemployed. What do your friends do? They're like, well, their wives are like, look, I know you know Steve and everything, but look, it doesn't matter how much money. We don't give him any money, But if you want to take him to lunch,
Yeah.
So everybody's calling me to take me to lunch.
take them up on it. Take them
That's
up on
what
it.
I'm doing. But wife too. I said, you go to lunch. You know what? It saves money. I'm not eating your groceries. And he's taking me to a nice lunch at Joey D. So thank you, Jeff Kinsler. And really, this is the time before we get into politics, and we're going to try to have fun with it. But the reason I even went on this little conversation limb from hell, the big tree is sticking to our guns and doing radio the way we think it should be done. But when I read all these things, it looks like politics was one of the things that maybe people disagreed on us, and they were glad we were gone because they did not like libertarian conservative talk. But I thought we did it pretty straight up.
Yeah, we tried to be in the middle. I mean, you lean a little more right than I do, so I thought we gave both perspectives. Just some of the perspectives that were insane, we may have criticized, yes.
Well-
But that's on both sides. I think it's on both sides. In fact, let's get into it now, because the Epstein files, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, did not release all of them. They
No.
were, they had this thing where they were going to release them all by December 19th.
Right, they
And
were
they-
supposed to, and then I guess we didn't. And then our very own Margie Taylor Greene and a few other Congress people were like, no. You ran on that. You're doing everything you said you were going to do, so you need to release all the files. And it became an issue.
Yeah, and now Chuck Schumer, the Senate minority leader, is
Yeah.
pushing legislation against the Department of Justice. Like, hey, you didn't abide by the deadline. You only released a few percentage, of the whole whatever there. Why do they keep holding back? I'm actually getting tired of even talking about it.
I don't want to talk about it either, and that's why we can say that right now. I don't give an F. I'm going to say that right now. I just don't. I think millionaires are going to do what millionaires do. I think everybody parties. Look, I know what my buddies that were making $30,000 a year when they got to Florida or anywhere. I know the crap they did.
So,
all right.
Imagine if you had 5 times that amount.
Yeah. We're all jammed in a car. They're all in a Learjet. Okay, think about it. And and these people, if you cheat on your wife or if you have sex with strangers, that's your deal, man. If it costs you a divorce and crying children, shame on you. You said that you would be there for better or for worse. To me, you're a bad person. But if you're like I was and you're single, no offense, I think you can have sex with whoever, whenever, as long as they're adults.
Of age and consensual, that's all it is. Otherwise, then have at it. So the big takeaway seemed to be all the celebrity photos: Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, all these pictures with Epstein. And I will say, I think most of these pictures are pre 2004 when he got busted with the underage girls and went to jail for a while.
What if his island, or wherever he took people, where he Learjetted them in, what if it was normal 95% of the time, and all he did was have little freak parties like
P did? Yes, I think it might have been a separate thing than all this hobnobbing with the celebrities. But all those pictures, like they're all getting onto Trump because it's pictures of Trump in them. And Trump says, yes, I was hung out with him, but it was pre. I cut ties with him when he got busted as being a pedophile. Same thing with Clinton. I'm sure all those pictures are, pre 2004.
And there's a scene where a girl comes up and she turns and she kisses Trump. Let me tell you, when people are on ecstasy or they're drunk or they're on any other kind of drugs, girls in the nightclub world where I walked in or anything, I got kissed. Not because I'm like Brad Pitt, but it happens. Girls will come up and they're just, dude, they'll kiss you or they'll do something. And I didn't see Trump embrace it. He's kind of stood there, and I'm not trying to give Trump an out. I'd call it if I thought he was kissing her back. But that scene is just one of those over-aggressive girls, I'm so hot, I should be allowed to kiss whoever I want type of chicks.
Yeah.
I bet she kissed 10 guys the way she kissed Trump that night. But if you see somebody holding somebody by the hand and they're sneaking off, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if more comes out. I don't. Also,
Clinton was there a lot.
A lot of pages were completely redacted.
Yeah.
They're just blacked out completely. So it just makes it seem like they are hiding something. That's why, if you want to really put this thing to rest, release it all and let the chips fall where they may. But it just seems like there's still something to hide. So we'll see if this action that Chuck Schumer is making is going to release more or get Pam Bondi impeached.
Yeah, or do we all say, because the segment's politictainments, that a lot of these politics are just that, and they're just not good people, or they've been bought and sold, maybe they're sold, or, there are the ones like Jimmy Carter that squirt through, that are loyal, that were there for a reason. I don't know who's who. I can't tell. But do we really care? I want a strong nation. I want my kids to be in a strong country. I don't want them hearing anything before they need to hear it. I want Santa to be the deal to the 3rd or 4th grade, whatever. I just want that to be the case. And I don't like these sidetracked issues. I don't know about you.
Polydictainment.
All right. Actually, let's get into some sports now with Jack Sugar.
Okay.
I got into some football over the weekend, which I don't normally do, as you know.
No, I would say football for you is almost hooking up with a dude. I would say football for you, I would say sports is like sleeping with a guy. It's just one of those things. I'm not saying you've done it, but it's one of those things that you just don't do. You just don't do sports.
Only if I'm, I was doing, the Bulldogs and Tech. I was following that. But NFL, I haven't really followed very much.
And the only reason you were following that is because your son, you visited both colleges. You're from Athens. Your kid could have gone to Tech or Georgia, and he picked Tech.
Yeah, and so I've been following Tech, and they were undefeated this season.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get our sports guy, Jack Sugar.
Calling him on the fly. Jack Sugar is my brother-in-law. He knows all sports. All sports. Guy's brilliant. And I'm not paying for a sports guy, so I'm going to the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 other guys. Skipper from Regal Nissan. And this is Jack Sugar.
Hey, come on.
Yeah, come on. Jack, are you in a secret place? Are you at work, or are you working from home today?
I am in the office, but I'm in a nice little focus room. So
See, it's a focus
here
room.
to chat.
The conference room.
Is it a conference room or a focus room?
It's a focus room.
This sounds like a new
one
corporate
is.
term.
We have conference room.
Okay, do you have a
It
conference room, and you actually have a focus room also?
Yeah, this one doesn't have any technology in it,
Oh.
so it's not meant to have a conference call.
Oh.
Which is why it's called a focus room. It's really just for you to duck in to
Okay.
take a personal call or get on the radio with you guys.
I appreciate it. Knowing that, I just got to know, is there a crying room, a breastfeeding room, and is there even a sex closet? I don't know. What do corporate... Jeff and I have been out of corporate. God, I have been for 3 years. I don't know. I never remember focus being, but I get it now.
No, this sounds like a new term for corporate offices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one would be for crying.
Okay.
It's like, I don't think you could have intercourse in here.
Okay,
I think
good.
that would be risky.
Okay.
And,
Fair
and
enough.
breast pumping, that would be also a little risky, but I'm
Got it.
sure they have that somewhere in here.
Okay. All right. Well, I like it. Well, let's get to, crazy. I think focus rooms are crazy. And I don't know right now, listen to this audio, if this is crazy or not, or are we just conspiracy type people?
We need to open an investigation immediately after what we just witnessed at the end of the Lions-Steelers game. Now, let me briefly set the scene for you, because if the Lions lose this game, their playoff chances are basically cooked. And by the way, if you like elite sports content like this, make sure you're following. 4th quarter, Lions down 5, 1st and goal with 29 seconds left. And as you can see, Goff finds St. Brown in the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown, and they're going to win.
Okay.
Right? There's a flag.
There's a flag.
What was the flag?
I don't know.
Take a look at the
There's a
replay. They
flag.
call a pick
Jack
play
Sugar.
on number.
Now, I have praised you as a phenom of sports, and you are one of our sportsmen that we will come to every single week on the Yeah Come On show. I balance you with Vinny Bucci, who only knows wrestling, and I balance you with a guy named Skipper that is the service manager at Regal Nissan, and they're going to offer a Yeah Come On deal. And obviously, you know, I'm going to get a little cheddar here, but the dude talks nothing but sports. You have other things on your mind, but you're the guy that runs the fantasies. You're the guy that puts leagues together, puts people together. Everything is competition, whether we're at the pool messing around. You want to win at everything, and also you take deep dives into sports. So you're my sporty brother-in-law, and if anybody has an opinion, are sports fixed? Are refs doing things they shouldn't be doing? Is Vegas involved, or is it just they like certain players better than others?
Gosh, you know, I watched that sequence there at the end of the game, and I get the call. Our sports fixed. There's a lot of shady things happening out there. I really believe that the NFL, I would think, would rise above that, especially with all the scrutiny right now, as gambling becomes more and more accepted in our country. But yeah, that play was crazy. I see, if you're the wide receiver that's coming on the slant, he's got to try to avoid contact at all costs, and he kind of lowers his shoulder and initiates it. I see the offensive pass interference call, and then the next play got more attention. But I do think that play you guys just threw on there, you know, it's tough. It's controversial. If anything, though, I don't see the incentive to get the Lions out of the playoffs. I think they're a great team. I think for the NFL product, the NFL office would want that team in the playoffs. I think the Steelers are. I mean, they're the Steelers of Aaron Rodgers. Maybe there's some better stories out there, but I just don't think they're really a contender. And I think the Lions would be. So that one was questionable, but it is amazing to me. I do think there's something to the NFL, and maybe their officials are incentivized to try to keep eyeballs on games as long as possible. I mean, I went to bed on Thursday night, that Seahawks-Rams game. It was over. It was over. I have absolutely no idea how they stayed in that game. And then there was the weird lateral that counted for a 2-point conversion, even though the whistle was blown. And that one was a weird one. The Bears game, that game was over, and they came back and won. And, you know, it's just, they can really swing the outcome of these games with penalties. They really can. And I'm sit there watching, I think about it like, what if they just got rid of holding? You know, what if they just let these guys get after it? Because those penalties, they can just be so pivotal. And if you find yourself at 2nd and 20 after you got a first down because of a holding call, like, you really changed the outcome. And so I do think there is some level of, hey, keep the games close, and then, you know, any controversy, unfortunately, it's good for, we're talking about it today. And so it's that's just part of it, unfortunately. But I don't have the answer for you.
All right. Well, fair enough. You know what? I figured I would ask. Maybe it's an unanswerable question, but there are these people that are starting to get followers, and I don't know if they're just jumping on it, but they seem to have the facts. And there's certain people out there now that are leading the way for bringing up the game, dissecting it, and putting it out there. And they're getting a lot of followers. And I don't know if they're just doing it for the hell of it, or these are guys that really are like, no, this is BS. You need to see this. You need to see this. Because if you miss the game, if there's a mess up, you're going to see it on socials within 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And I will tell you, I watch those games too. And I'm to the point now, when you see a player that you have in DraftKings or fantasy or your team, and they do the 35-yard run or do something incredible, I'm so tense now because I'm like, all right, where's the penalty? I know there's going to be a flag on the play. Where's the flag? Where's the flag? And everything comes back, and it just crushes me. Yeah. Lastly, the Atlanta Falcons, because we're both Falcon guys. One thing, Jeff, the reason Jack will always be on our shows as a sportsman is because I was at the Super Bowl and he was at the Super Bowl for the Falcons. They've only been to 2. I caught the first one. He caught the second one. Both were tragic, and there's a kinship there.
Well, the latter one, the 2017, was more tragic.
Okay.
right? The
I would say,
98?
well, because you thought we had it
Yeah.
and we didn't. So, yeah, and that team prevailed yesterday. The Patriots have come out of nowhere, but the Falcons came out of nowhere. Should we have beaten Arizona? Does it matter? Is Kirk Cousins going to be our QB at the beginning of the season? Even if Penix is ready to go, a lot of people are saying he's not ready for the NFL yet. He still needs some tutelage before he comes out. Your thoughts on our Falcons?
Uh, it's like winning right now is just the worst case scenario because I'm still a believer that Raheem Morris should not be our coach.
Yep.
And here we are, two consecutive wins, one in division, against two like declining teams. And I think if you were to make the call on, hey, Penix could use some tutelage, Cousins, he was coming off a pretty rough injury last year, and he was clearly not the same guy. And he's looking more like that guy that he was before his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you question the whole season, the whole approach to the season right now, the way he's winning a couple games. Should he have started the season as our starter? And yeah, the end of the last season, we threw in the towel. We gave Penix some time, but at the end of the day, Kirk gives us the best chance to win, especially just because, we got one of the best offensive lines in football. We have one of the best two-headed rushing attacks. And you turn around and hand the ball off and think good things are going to happen. But the weird part is they never put Penix under center. They were running out of the pistol, and it just wasn't working.
Right.
And Penix
Right.
is still more or less a rookie quarterback. And so things just weren't going well. Obviously, everything comes into question. It's like, why didn't you just give the guy who you paid a shit ton of, excuse my language, a ton of money to?
Yeah.
Why didn't you give him a chance to start the season? Like, you're just wasting the money. I don't know. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's the coach's job, is to figure out who gives you the best chance to win games. And it's not Raheem Morris. And so I don't know. I was on Twitter yesterday, and somebody put up a graph of the current NFL standings. And when the Falcons were in their head coaching search 2 years ago, the four people they interviewed were Seattle Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald, who
Right.
was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens at the time, unemployed Mike Vrabel, who was inexplicably fired from the Titans, who is currently the New England Patriots head coach.
God.
Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator for the Lions, who is currently the Chicago Bears head coach, and Jim Harbaugh, who was at Michigan at the time, but amid a scandal. So all four of those guys we interviewed, and we went with a guy who has already failed as a head coach,
No.
was an average defensive coordinator. And we go with Raheem Morris, and it's like, there we are, right at the bottom of the standings. So
My
I just
You can't even make
I never
it up.
liked it.
Yeah, you can't make it up. It was a
No.
crazy move, and it's so funny because you just brought up Hardball, and with Baltimore playing last night, the girl that is dating a friend of mine, her, she's a higher upper, and in her subdivision, Harbaugh lives in her subdivision. So does the owner of the Ravens, and she was just like in a Boston house, and it wasn't going over well. Cheering for him, but it was just cool just to talk to her about it. And she even brought up, he was miffed on the Atlanta job. And I know, and then the other coach, it's like two coaches that we could have had are coaching against each other, and their teams are winning. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they're all gonna, they all are Super Bowl contenders.
Damn.
With teams that are not very much different than the team that we have on the field.
Yeah.
So if you can't get it done, it's a results-driven league, and unfortunately, he's won a couple games, and it's like, is he seriously going to be back next year?
Hell no.
I mean, it just is. It's disheartening. It's
No.
disheartening.
I've got to make a call here. I'm going to turn in my Home Depot, and I'm going to start card and start shopping. I'm going to shop Lowe's. I'm just saying it. and occasionally Ace Hardware if for any reason he comes back. That's the only thing I know to do. It's the only way I got to hit his pocketbook. I got to hurt him. So I'm going to Lowe's.
I'm sure he'll feel that.
Oh, he will. You have no idea. You know the crap I buy. Why? Because you're my brother-in-law. It is Sports with Jack Sugar. Always a pleasure to have you on, and I'm glad you're a member of the Yeah Come On show and the Yeah Come On Fantasy League, which you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. My team all got injured yesterday, so I'm gonna get bounced here in the semifinals, which is a big bummer. But it was a fun season. It was a good ride, and it's always fun to compete against some Atlanta legends.
Well,
so
you're right.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
I got beat by the bass player of REM yesterday. Mike Mills beat me. I was like, damn it. But hey, Jack, if you need a couple of players, what the hell? I'll give you a couple.
Yeah. It's going to be a cool championship, though.
I don't know the rules.
No.
I'm not allowed to do that. What about your coach?
I'm not going to.
Okay. You don't want me just to toss somebody out there? Okay. No cheating.
No, it's done. It's done. And it's cool. It's Chris Medlin against Brian Finneran. It's going to be, that's like the most Atlanta sports fantasy matchup in the championship you can get.
And we will have both on, Brian Finneran and Chris Medlin, to talk about it. Former Atlanta Brave, former Atlanta Falcon, and they're going to get nasty for the Yeah Come On Fantasy Football Trophy unless Jack Scrubs come alive, and anything's possible. Thanks for being on the Yeah Come On show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, come on! Now, I saw in your body language that was uncomfortable for you. It just went on longer, but this is what guys do. Guys like to talk a little bit about sports. I'm not trying to make this a sports show, but occasionally that might be our longest segment.
Well, yeah. Well, plus because I get it because we're in the NFL playoffs.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big thing.
Guess what? When baseball goes to spring training and there is no more NFL and it's basketball and hockey, sports is going to be about 2 minutes on this program.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it'll all balance out by the end of the year, right?
But right now, man, this is fantasy. People are winning at DraftKings. Some teams are desperate to win, and the players. It's a time to win money, and that's why on sports here before Christmas, I'm going to give you Bogus.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I am going to give you Jeff Bogus, who owns fantasyfootballempire.com, to make sure your picks for Christmas Day through the weekend can win you money. Because I don't know that you're going to get the gift that you want, so I'm going to give you the gift of sports with the best I know. And now it's time for something a little special.
Yeah, we're going to do in the show with our track 13. And we tried this for our first day. And I was going to play a piece of the music, not the whole song. We know we can't play music.
Well, if you play music, because now, which is, we had a cuss word, but we don't have to dump it.
No, I don't have to. No.
You don't have to dump it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to cuss. You're not trying to cuss. No. But if one leaks out, I don't give a damn because we are on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah, we can let a few things go, but we cannot play music, not even a clip, because it busted me playing just a few seconds, and we were talking.
It didn't bust you; it busted us.
It busted us.
We lost money.
No, not yet.
We're not even making money yet. By the way, this is free, and we got to get a lot of fans. Y'all, seriously, if you like what you're hearing, the old 30-minute radio show, two unemployed guys. I have family. Jeff's son's on a scholarship. Don't even worry about Jeff Cole. Worry about me. But if you like it and subscribe, it just helps us. The world cares about numbers, and all we got to do is show them a little numbers, and we'll get a little cheddar. But playing music can screw the cheddar up.
It can. So what we're going to do is we're going to play it in reverse.
In reverse.
So we're going to talk up the song like a regular DJ would, like we talk about music, and then we'll just kind of play in the background in reverse. And, of course, there's a link to it in the description if you want to hear the actual song. So for today's Track 13, we're going to do one of your bands.
My band.
Which is really a Track 13 band.
Oh, you got my attention.
Thunder.
I love Thunder. When Love Walked In is like my jam. That's my song. I played it when I asked my wife to marry me. I had a guy over there, John Cusack style, with the radio over his head.
With a ghetto blaster?
And I'm like, just play. The second I drop to a knee, and she says, yes, hit it.
And that was at the jewelry store, right?
And that was at the jewelry store. And when they hit it, then I was like, awesome. So then when it came to Last Dance, 10 months later, I threw the song back in. I threw it back in.
And it was your wedding song, wasn't
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yeah. So when Love walked in through the door, but Thunder's a great band, and it's a band that nobody knows. Track 13. It's the deep cuts. It's what radio couldn't play. So the fun part about our show is when it ends, we ask for the total experience that you listen to that song on YouTube, wherever you can get it, and just listen to the song that we recommend so you can be a part of the Come On Show.
So here it is from a Track 13 band, so to speak. It is Thunder and their other hit. I'm assuming that the When Love Walked In would be their biggest hit.
Oh, God. When Love Walked In is a sing-along favorite in 99% of households.
Well, this is their other one. It is called Dirty Love, Track 13 on the Come On Show.